Hello. This part is going to be backstory on May and I. If you aren't interested in that, then the story starts in part 2. If you do care, then I appreciate you even more. Happy listening. Hello. A few years ago, I made a decision. That decision was to become a VTuber, and it was not off of a whim. I was 16 at the time, and I wanted to start collecting money to do various things. It's nice just to have money, but I wanted to save for really big things. I primarily wanted to go to Japan. That was the biggest thing. This was around the time I started slipping in school. Now when I say that, I know you expect me to say that I was failing all my classes, not handing in any work, and sleeping during class. That is not true. My bar is higher than that, because I've always done amazing in school despite not trying, but my lack of work ethic quickly caught up with me towards the end of high school. Anyway, I started handing in my assignments late, my grades were going down a bit, and I was feeling awful. But I was stuck in a cycle of feeling stressed, finding a way to relieve the stress by avoiding the work, and then feeling even more stressed because I wasn't working. I was stuck with escapism, escaping my problems by avoiding them instead of solving them. Finding a job at that point was almost out of the question. All I thought about when trying to find a job would be that I'm only adding to my work. VTubers was one of those ways I would escape, watching for hours and hours. My favorite VTuber went by the name Maho Shoujo Riri, which meant Magical Girl Riri, although now she goes by Pleiades Lily. The reason she was my favorite was due to the fact that she had a crippling illness that impacts her everyday life. She can't work, she sleeps for upwards of 15 hours a day, and sometimes she can't even find the energy to stream. You would never be able to tell she had anything close to that through her streams. She was always so full of energy and so bubbly. It was very infectious. During her stream, she would have talks with her chat about various things that she has considered while alone with her illness, and not able to do anything. These talks were my favorite part of her streams. They always filled me with such passion and the want to do something. The one that stood out the most to me was one in which she talked about how much effort you can put in each day. Riri talked about how the best you can give each day is different from other days. Your best is not a constant. It fluctuates. You should not compare today's best with yesterday's best. Just know that you did your best. This really struck a chord with me. I don't know what it was exactly, but that talk gave me a lot of confidence to get off my ass and start doing shit with myself. Maybe it was the fact that despite her circumstances, she was the most positive, hard-working person I could look up to. I felt bad. I wish I could switch bodies with her. I have had the gift of being naturally athletic, but I didn't do shit with it. I had played soccer for 9 years, but I even stopped doing that. In recent times, I've started running. I'm getting into playing volleyball. I'm using the body in which I was given this talent I wasn't actually using. After I watched that stream, I started looking for a job. I was thinking that I have to do something. I can't just sit there and have Riri doing her best just to get up, and I'm not even thinking about getting up. It was this stream that made me decide to start streaming. I wanted to spread the positivity and motivation that was handed to me by her. To give a quote from Daniel Rustage, my favorite artist, quote, "So much potential we are never sure what we might become. Be influential because you never know when your time has come. Our life eventful and it always knows if you try to run." Unquote. From his song, Running. I want to live by this quote, influencing other people to rise and feel the same level of inspiration I did, broadening these messages that meant so much to me in hopes that more will see it. After that, I made Meiji. My idea for what Meiji is has changed little by little as I figure out what I want them to be. Their design came loosely off of Robin from the Fire Emblem series. When I thought up Meiji's design, I was playing Smash Bros. A lot and I main Robin, mainly because I love the idea of a grimoire for power. His design was also really cool. Ice is my favorite elemental power. It feels so versatile, like you could do anything with it, and the aesthetic is awesome. It was almost on impulse that I came up with Meiji being a ghost. I guess I just really like the idea of a ghost with ice powers. One of my first thoughts was also coming up with the design for Yurei to be based off of a traditional Japanese ghost. Later down the line, I was thinking about what I want Meiji's personality to be like. Who do I want them to be? Who do I want to be on stream? The easiest thing I could think of was just making them me. That takes away the need to try to act like a different person. And when I stream, I could just be me. Then I put a little bit more consideration into it. I knew I wanted to write something like this, and so I'm going to need to think about how to write a story for Meiji. That's when I added another trait to Meiji, their personal journey of self-discovery, you could say. Maybe you have noticed, but I've only been referring to Meiji by their name or they, them. That is on purpose. Around the time the concept for Meiji was becoming a real thing, I was going through somewhat of an identity crisis. See, I adore cute things. And when I mean cute things, I mean like the color pink, cute skirts, and idols. Something about me is that if I really like something, I really want to mimic it. So that's when I started thinking about how much I might enjoy dressing as a girl and wearing makeup. I considered it so much that I didn't know whether or not I wanted to be a girl. Meiji's story will go hand in hand with mine. You're just going to have to read this all to see the conclusion I came to. That is why I've refrained from using gendered pronouns for Meiji. That is all I have. I hope whoever reads this can find the same inspiration and motivation that I once did.